What would you do with your YouTube channel if you suddenly had nothing but time? No commute, no social events, and no excuses? Well, just you, your camera, and nowhere to be? Well, in April of 2020, the entire world was locked down. My real estate business had basically stopped. My family was inside, and for the first time since I started this channel, I had genuinely no interrupted time to make videos. And so I made 11 of them. And what happened that month, not because of a strategy, not because of a plan, but just because I kept showing up, set the stage. It set the stage for the most important month in the entirety of my channel since I had started. This is month 4, year 1, the quiet month before everything literally changed. Let's go. Let me paint you a picture of what April of 20 actually felt like for me. March had been chaos, pure chaos. The pandemic hit, everything shut down, my running stopped, my phone stopped ringing, and I was kind of scared about literally everything. By the end of March, though, I was just starting to find my footing again. April was different, not necessarily better. The world was still completely upside down and nobody knew when any of it was going to end, but there was a new kind of quiet to it, like a stillness. The shock had worn off and what was left was just, this is the new normal for now. Figure out how to live in it. And for me, living in that meant going outside to run and bringing my camera with me. Because here's the thing about April 20 that I want you to understand. While the world was locked down, people were on YouTube, more people than ever before. They were sitting in their houses looking for something to watch, looking for something to connect with, basically. I didn't have a strategy around that. I didn't really think. I just kind of looked at it and thought there's an opportunity here. Now, let me capitalize on it. I just thought, I want to go for a run and I want to make videos about it. And maybe someone out there is going to find them useful. That was it. Just keep showing up, keep making things, and see what happens. So here are the real numbers for April of 2020. My views were 5,184. That's up 289% from March. Watch time was 711 hours, up 425%. New subscribers, 75, up 226%. Impressions, 39,541, up 328%. And my average click-through rate was 7.4%. Now, before you get too excited about those percentages, remember what I told you in month 1. A massive percentage increase on top of a small number is still a very small number. I went roughly from 1,300 views in March to 5,184 in April. But here's what those numbers actually represent. It was a triple-digit growth across every single metrics in a month where I was still figuring everything out, still learning how to edit, still posting without a schedule, still completely in the dark about what was actually working and why it was working. And 42% of my views were coming from browse features. YouTube putting videos directly on people's homepages or screens. The algorithm was starting to pay attention to my little small channel. Now, let me tell you what was driving all of that growth, because it wasn't the 11 videos that I uploaded in March. It was one video I uploaded in February, the Maffetone Method Progress video. The one from month 2 that got 2,958 views in April alone. And that's more than half of my entire monthly total. And it drove 38 new subscribers all on its own. A video I made 2 months earlier, still finding new people, still converting strangers into subscribers, still earning watch time every single day without me doing anything for that video, which is awesome. That is evergreen content doing exactly what evergreen content is supposed to do. I learned this later. And I want you to think about that on your own channel right now. Do you have a video sitting there that answers a question people are actively searching for? A video that could be working for you right now while you sleep, while you eat, while you're at work, while you are doing anything other than making YouTube videos. Because if you do, the video is your most valuable asset, not your most recent upload, not your most polished production, the one that answers a real question that real people are generally searching for. I want you to find that video on your channel, study it, understand why it works, and then make more videos like it. Now, I want to tell you about the experiment that I ran in April of 2020 because I think it's really important lesson about what kind of content builds deep loyalty with a small audience. I decided to do a 6-day fast. No water, or I should say, sorry, no food, just water, while continuing to do my MAF training runs. And I documented the whole thing day by day, fasting day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and day 6. Then time to eat, and then a summary video number 5, advantages of fasting, my experience from 6 days of no food and running. Now, the individual daily videos didn't get huge numbers, 48 views, 78 views. Those are really small numbers. But here's what the retention data showed. Fasting day 3 had 44.5% average view percentage, meaning people were watching nearly half of that video on average. For a channel my size at that time, that was pretty remarkable. Yeah, pretty remarkable engagement, I would say. And the summary video number 5, advantages of fasting, had a 40.7 retention rate, and it tied for the most subscribers gained that month. Why did I do a series about not eating perform so well for a running channel? Because it was a personal experiment with a real narrative. There was a beginning. I'm going to try this. A middle. Here's what's actually happening to my body, and there was an end. Here's what I learned. People followed the story because they wanted to know how it ended. And that is one of the most powerful content structures available to any creator in any niche. Personal experiment, document it honestly, show the real results. Your audience doesn't just want information, they want to go on a journey with you. Give them one. I want to tell you something about where my head was in April of 2020. And I think that's a really important thing because I wasn't questioning whether YouTube was worth it. I wasn't calculating my ROI. I wasn't wondering if the time I was putting in, I was ever going to get it to pay off. I was just making videos I liked to make. Videos I thought someone out there might enjoy. Videos about running, about fasting, about running slow, and what it felt like to be a runner in the middle of a global pandemic with all of your races canceled. And in addition to all that, your normal life completely on hold. Look, I was just enjoying the process. And I really think that matters because there's a version of this story where I look at my numbers in April, 75 new subscribers after 4 months of work, and I get discouraged, where I start comparing myself to channels that grew faster, where I start questioning whether the niche is going to be too small, the content is going to be too specific, or the algorithm just doesn't like me. I didn't do any of that. Not in April. I just went outside and I ran, and I brought my camera with me. And I talked honestly, openly about what I was experiencing with my training. And now something was building underneath the surface that I couldn't really see quite yet because that February MAF video wasn't just getting views in April, it was getting shared. My shares went up 500% in April compared to March. People were sending that video to their running friends, posting it to their running groups, sharing it to social media. Word was spreading slowly, quietly, without me doing anything to make it happen. If there's a story, people will share it. Now, the thing is, I still wasn't monetized. That wasn't even in the cards yet. But here's what I knew at the end of April of 2020. The weather was getting warmer. Spring was coming to Ontario. After months of pandemic running, mostly solo, mostly local, I was starting to feel the pull of the trails again. Serious mileage, real terrain, getting out into the woods and pushing my boundaries. I wasn't thinking about what was coming for the channel. I wasn't running scenarios about how May might look. I was just thinking, it's getting warm outside and I want to hit the trails. I want to run some serious distance. That's all. And what happened in May of 2020, because of everything that had been quietly building since February, changed my channel forever. April 2020 ended with about 225 subscribers, 75 new people in 1 month, 11 videos, a 6-day fast, MAF slow runs in the spring, a real estate business that was slowly starting to come back alive, and one video from 2 months ago that was quietly finding its audience every single day. YouTube doing its job. I didn't know it then, but the foundation was set. Everything that I had been doing since January, the 25 videos I put out there, the MAF slow progress update, the fasting experiment, the honest storytelling, the showing up even when nobody was watching, it was all about to matter. Month 5 is coming, and if you've been struggling with your channel and wondering whether any of it is worth it, you need to see what happened to my channel in May. So I encourage you to click on this video right here because I think you may be surprised at what happened. Like I always say, get out and make a video.